personal opinion. So just to kind of get into my a background into my own story, because y'all know this is called Confessions of a Philly Girl. So I always have to bring to the light my own situation. So for me, I was so everyone saw I posted a picture of my son and his father on my page the other day. My son graduated from 8th grade. Shout out to Hamid. He graduated 8th grade yesterday. I'm so proud of him. Like, oh my goodness, y'all, I'm so proud of him. I love me some him. That's my baby. So, anyway, if you're just tuning in, I just went live on my own page. So, if you're just tuning in, I'm talking about the Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson story. Why they consider him hey sis? Shukran. So, yes, if you're just tuning in, I'm basically this podcast tonight was inspired by this story. Would you personally be with someone, be with a man? This is for the ladies. Would you be with a man who is actively, I guess, not in a relationship with her, but having a child with another woman, right? The other woman is pregnant, and he tells you, "Oh, we're not together. She's just having my baby." Ugh, that's like really a weird conversation to have with somebody, especially that you just met. Like, it's no big deal. Like, just walk away, leave. Like, why even stay in a situation knowing that they about to have a baby with a whole nother person? Excuse me. Or flip side of it, fellas, would you be in a relationship with a female knowing that she's pregnant with another man's child? Now I know a few people said a few men said sure I would. Like, I would step up to the plate. That child needs a father. Some women was like, oh yeah, I tried it don't work. He wound up going to be back with the baby mom. I guess there's a 50-50 split, but I feel like a lot of people saying what happened to Khloe was karma. That, and her story was, or her alibi, in my opinion, was, she calls it her truth, is that when she didn't know that the baby mom was pregnant, right? And she said once that she got wind of the situation or whatever, she decided to discontinue the relationship. But he basically like begged her, like, no, I'm over her, I'm done with her, she's just having my baby. And he got like a whole slew of people to back up his alibi or whatever. It's like, no, but I'm just saying, like, ladies, if you meet a guy and y'all getting to know each other and he finally say, you know what, I have a baby on the way by somebody, me personally, I'm not staying with him, like, or I'm not going to continue to talk to him, because I feel like at the end of the day, I'm a woman. So put yourself in that predicament. And I think that's where Khloe kind of screwed up at, is because she didn't have like that what's the word I'm looking for? Okay, she didn't have that understanding of being pregnant, right? And being in love with someone and holding someone's child in your body. And she didn't have that understanding. She do now, though, don't she? Because of what he did to her while she was pregnant. But she didn't have that understanding. So, again, she going into the situation just being, a regular person. Not being a mother, not ever experiencing carrying a child, and how much of a connection you have with a man or whatever when you're pregnant. So, she went into the situation like that. So I guess I could kind of understand where she came from. Like, oh, his mom and his friends, his lawyer, I don't know why, all said, no, he's done with her. He don't want to be with her no more. And that might have been true at the time. But I'm just saying, like, having a conscience, you know what I'm saying? Have some sort of morals and values or whatever. Exactly. Me neither, sis. Having some sort of morals and values. This goes back to morals and values. I keep bringing this up in every topic that I've talked about. Almost every topic I've talked about on my show is that you had to relate of how you move and how you operate out here in these streets should be based on morals and values. So I feel like if you're a woman with some type of substance, morals and values, you're not going to go start a whole fresh relationship with a man knowing that there's a woman out here in the world carrying his baby. Like, do you know how awful that is? Like, seriously, do you know how awful that is? And for you to be of some sort of celebrity, like, you like the hottest chick in the world or whatever, And she is, whether you want to admit to it or not, she's very popular. The Kardashians are lit, whether you want to admit it or not. They are. So the fact that you have some sort of celebrity, your name is up in the tabloids, the news, whatever, the magazines, the newspapers, the TV, the radio, somewhere you on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody want to see you every day, and on social media you go on the blogs, and every day you out here just dating my baby father. Like, that's nutty. And the fact that men will really go out here and start a whole new relationship with somebody, knowing that you have a whole baby on the way with a woman. Like, nobody even thought about this lady. Like, nobody even thought about her feelings. Nobody even thought how she was going to had to deal with the situation or whatever. And then to bring a baby into all of that chaos, I just think is really nutty. So even though, like I said, a lot of people was like, oh, that's her karma, that's her karma, I don't look at it as karma. I look at it as, it's just unfortunate that she didn't have enough self-respect or whatever for herself, and enough respect for another woman. And I think that's the issue nowadays. Like, we can talk about that issue. The fact that women will have so much loyalty to a man before they even have loyalty to their own female counterparts. Like, I think that is so nutty. Like, even down to friendships, like, a female will dig their man out of a ditch before they dig their whole girlfriend or friend out of a ditch that they have known literally their whole entire life. Like, are you serious? Hey, sis. Like, I just think that that's just so corny. Like, where did the disconnect between... And this don't even have to be a black thing. This could just be a woman thing. Where is the loyalty between women? Like, where's the sisterhood? Again, it don't have nothing to do with color. You could be black, white, orange, yellow, blue, whatever. Gold if you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Where's the loyalty between us? Like, damn, you know what? I'm going to think about that woman, right, before I think about anything else. I'm going to think about how I would feel if I was pregnant or whatever. If I was personally pregnant, right, I would think about that before I decide to go be with a man. Or how about, hey, even men that are married, like, women will still deal with a man knowing that he married. You will still deal with him knowing that he married. He got one foot in his house, one foot in your house, and you really trying to live happily ever after with somebody else's man. You just can't do it, especially when you going about it so messy. Like, it's so terrible and sad. Like, it be making me mad. Hey, Mike, what's going on? Like, it's like you don't have no self-respect. Like, it's a million men out here. You know what I'm saying? It's a million men. And again, this has nothing to do with religion, because I am Muslim. So I'm not going to sit here and get into the whole polygamy thing, because everybody doesn't follow polygamy. Everybody doesn't follow Islam or whatever. So I'm speaking strictly about just people in general. Like, there's such a disconnect amongst women nowadays. Like, everybody are like women empowerment, this go women, Me Too movement. We got all these movements, all these empowerments, but when it comes down to that, you know what? Between the men's legs, every woman gets amnesia. Don't nobody know what's going on. Everybody's stupid. Oh, I ain't know she messed with him. Oh, I ain't know she used to mess with him. And it's like, there's such a disloyalty. And I've been through that before. And it's just like, it's a disheartening feeling to know that people do that type of stuff just because you lonely, you weak. You can't go out here and go get your own man, so you gonna go deal with somebody else's. Like, come on, at least wait till the girl have her baby and figure out what's going to happen. Like, you basically came in and infiltrated in between a whole family. And I don't care what a man say, because we all know men. Let me say some, for everybody feel like I'm throwing shots at them. But we all know men. We all know how they get down. When they break up with a chick, it's like the next day they out here on the prowl. Like, they just out here talking to other females or whatever, and they will seriously write off the last female like she don't even exist. But really deep down inside, we still dealing with her or whatever. Like, that's the part I don't understand about guys. But whatever, they'll go out here and start new relationships with people or whatever, and forget all about the girl that they was just with. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why we have to do more research, more homework. We have to ask more questions. We have to really figure out who are we dealing with. But again, somebody like him who has all this popularity, first of all, who is a celebrity, who is a ball player, you're not going to sit here and tell me that you didn't know that this man had a baby on the way. Like, I'm not trying to hear that. Like, you could live in my city. You could live in Philly, right? And I guarantee you, you going to meet a guy that knows somebody that knows somebody. Because let me tell you something. When guys jump up in my messenger, I be screenshotting to group text messages. Sis, you know him? Sis, you know him? And 9 times out of 10, out of the 2 or 3 people I send, somebody in the group text know at least one of them. I'm just keeping it 100. So you're not going to sit here. That's why another thing about the Muslim community, like, you supposed to communicate within your circles. You know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, you want to know somebody to know somebody. You going to know this person. You may not know somebody to know him or her personally, but you going to know somebody to know of them or know of her. You know what I mean? So it's like, do your homework, do your research, and stop going by the word of a man. I don't never go by a word of a man. I go by not only his actions, but I go by, like, what he got going on. If he got social media, yeah, I'm in his social media. I'm reading comments. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, who he know, how he know them. I'm looking at backgrounds. I'm trying to say, oh, this where he be at? Oh, this who he be with? Oh, yeah, I'm sending the pictures to such and such, because it's important that you do your homework on these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just go off the word of a female either. Like, you really got to do your homework, because people be frauding. They be creating facades or whatever. And stupid us, we be buying into them. Me personally or whatever, and I think I already answered the question, I could not knowingly be with a guy or marry somebody knowing that they have a child on the way. Not yet. I'm about to read my comments in a second. I could not, me personally, like I said, I could not be with somebody, I mean, or marry him knowing that he has a child on the way. That's just me. Again, there may be somebody else that can do that. Me personally, I can't, because I feel as though is that I don't have time to be sharing nobody. I don't got time for all of it. Like, you calling me talking about, oh, you with me, and your baby mom calling you talking about the baby need this. Like, that stuff is a headache. I don't even got time for it. And to be quite honest, y'all, at one point in time in my life, I was very selfish. Even when I only had one child, I still didn't deal with guys who had kids, because I just felt like, who's going to have a baby mom as bomb as I am? That's the first thing. And second of all, I just didn't have time for the drama, especially young kids. Like, if I meet somebody or whatever and we talking about marriage and you got kids that's under 3 years old, don't lose my number. Don't call me. I don't got time for that, because that means that you're still actively in their relationship with their person. I don't care what nobody say. Like, you could be like, oh, I hate my baby mom. I hate her guts. I can't stand her. Da, 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 da. You fraud and you lying. 9 times out of 10, you'll probably be laying up. Y'all might just be beefing right now or whatever. I feel like 90% of the time, guys still go and have some sort of weird relationship with their baby moms. Like, that's just me personally or whatever. But I also single-handedly know how it feels to be in a situation with somebody or whatever, and he be dealing with somebody outside of our relationship while I'm pregnant. Like, real rate. All right, let me read your comments. Hold on, y'all. I don't really hear no comments on WCMD. Walaikum salam. Hey, sis. Walaikum salam, Rock. Walaikum salam, Rahmatullah Barakatuh. Let's see. Hey, sis. Kaya said, Kaya said, Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum salam. No, I would not deal with a man that has another woman pregnant. Me neither, sis. Hey, y'all. What's up, y'all? Everybody tuned into my live. Y'all lit. Yes, they will. True. There is none. How you? Hey, Chrissy. Long time no here, but I'm tuned in. What's going on, Mike? Nothing come before the men to some women, not even their kids. Child, and it's so sad. It's so sad that women really are that desperate to be in a relationship with a man that they will put him before, like, life itself, to be quite honest with you. Why they gonna sit in? That's because she's only thinking about herself. No self-respect. True indeed. You reading these comments. I'm with you. Me either. I was like that up until the end of 2016. No more small children for me. I'm past that stage in my life. Yes, sissy, you ain't never lied. So, okay, y'all. So, I'm going to tell y'all about my story. What was my experience? Okay. So, okay, I got pregnant with my son. And I shared the picture. I just mentioned that. So, I shared the picture of my son. Me and my son and his dad or whatever. And like I mentioned in the post, we've come a long way. So, I shared this last week when I talked about abortions and stuff like that. Hamid's father initially did not want me to have Hamid. He was not with it. He was against it or whatever because we had, okay, so we met in college. I was a freshman, when I first met his dad. I was a freshman, and he was like one of the first guys to come at me when I was a freshman or whatever. And so we was talking, really didn't work out in the beginning, so we went our separate ways. When we came back in the summertime or whatever, we decided, I guess, to try it again. So we had been dating or whatever for a minute or whatever. So in the end or whatever, we decided to go our separate ways, but I wound up pregnant. So I wound up pregnant, and I called him. I was like, yo, I'm pregnant or whatever. And he was like, what? You ain't pregnant by me? I'm like, okay, whatever. So we went through that whole phase where he ignored me for a few months or whatever. And I was like, oh, well, like, I'm going to just have my baby by myself, whatever. Fast forward. So after a while, he came around or whatever. I think I mentioned this too last week on my show. He came around after a while, and we just started, like, I guess, dealing with each other or whatever. But we was living on campus. So it was like, you know, when you live on campus, on a college campus, you basically, like, you're in your own world. Like, college is this own world. Like, outside of college don't exist. So we basically was, like, living on our own or whatever. I don't know. So we was dealing with each other. So one day, this is how I realized he was dealing with somebody else. One day, he had called me and was like, I got some flowers for you. I'm like, oh, for real? He like, yeah. So I go to his room. He give me the flowers. So I go back to my room. But in the bag with the flowers had a receipt, right? So on the receipt, it showed that he bought 2 bouquets of flowers, y'all. Why would he play in my face like that? He bought 2 bouquets of flowers. So I'm like, 2 bouquets? Hey, Shauna. So he bought 2 bouquets of flowers. So I'm like, okay. So I'm looking at the receipt. So I show my roommate. I'm like, look at him. He bought 2 bouquets, right? But I kept hearing about somebody that he was talking to, but I'm not saying that. I was kind of like a bully on campus. I wasn't like a bully because it was other girls who was up there like really wrecking stuff in college. So, but like a lot of the girls that he chose to go after or whatever, like they ain't play with me. You know what I'm saying? Like usually I would scare them away, like they was afraid of me. So if he was talking to somebody, he knew to do it like basically quietly. Like he wasn't gonna do it when I knew, because he knew I was gonna come straight for them or whatever. So fast forward or whatever. So I never seen nothing about the flowers. I kept it a secret. I never said nothing about the flowers. I ain't talk about it, nothing. I just was like, all right, I kept it in the back of my head. Like I said, people was talking, but I didn't have no like concrete information on them. So I had to kind of fall back from it. So, okay, so I'm kind of like chilling or whatever. So now we coming up towards the end of the school year or whatever, end of the semester. And the end of Hamid was doing July. So this was like maybe March or April we was coming up. So one day I go in the cafeteria and I seen him like sitting at a table with some girls, but I didn't really know like who was who. So he already knew when I came in there to just move. So he moved. He wound up going to his friend's table, whatever. So I'm like, okay, another little note that I left in the back of my head, like, okay. So if we fast forward, whatever, towards the very end of the semester, somebody that I used to not call a friend, but we ran in the same circle of friends or whatever of school, and she came to me and was like, Christina, I just wanted you to know that he dealt with somebody, talking about how midday. And I was like, oh, for real? She was like, yeah, that's supposed to be his girlfriend. Excuse me. I'm like, his girlfriend? I'm like, oh, okay, all right, well, whatever. So when we came home from college, he came home with me. You know, so that's why I never thought nothing of it, y'all. Like, I really was oblivious to what was going on. Like I said, even if he was creeping with people, like the last girl that he crept with, I scared her away. So it was kind of like hard for him to do anything around me because he knew how I was. I'm always on go. So Fast forward, we home now from school. So every morning, right, he used to kind of like stay in my house here and there, whatever, if I had like a prenatal clinic. Every morning or whatever, when he was in my house, his phone would ring at the same time. So I used to be like, answer the phone. And he like, what? I don't want to answer my phone right now. I'm like, okay. So fast forward, his birthday come around, right? His birthday was in June, so it was like maybe a month before I had my son. He disappeared. Like, I ain't seen him, ain't heard from him, don't know where he was at, none of that, right? So I'm like, he come to my house that night. I'm like, damn, where you been at? Like, today your birthday, you ain't want to spend it with me or whatever. So he like, what? No, I went out with my friends. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And you know, I'm all young and stupid, so I'm just going by whatever. I thought I was in love. So fast forward or whatever, I had my baby. And so, you know, we was okay, but we wasn't okay. Like, he had already went back to Lincoln or whatever. So, and he had went to summer school. So he had went to Lincoln like maybe a month before school actually started. And he was living on campus up there. So I didn't really like see him often. But you know, he was there when I had my baby and all that, whatever. So one day I go over his house and he had the baby. So I was going over his house to go get the baby. I think I had something to do or whatever. So I'm sitting here and he holding the baby and we like watching TV. But you know how like you'll have like a China, I guess, thing or whatever, like where the TV was sit, but you could also put like pictures and stuff up there. So I look again and I'm like, that's a picture of you. I get up, I pick up the picture and it's him and this girl, right? On his birthday. They in the picture together. So I'm like, I look at him, I look at the picture. I'm like, this who you been messing with? Like, this is the girl you been playing in my face with up college. Like, this is who you dealing with. Like, I'm like, and she like scared, like terrified me. So I'm like, this who you messing with? I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, that's what's up. I'm like, this your girlfriend? He was like, yeah. He like, well, you already kind of knew I was dealing with somebody. I'm like, but what kind of girl, what kind of woman, what kind of person would sit there and date somebody, live on campus with the baby mom and the baby father? Like, you dating somebody that you know is in a relationship and having a child with someone or whatever. Oh, China cabinet, thank you. You dating somebody, you in a relationship with someone, and you know that they have a baby on the way, and you know that he's actually dealing with. It's like no secret. Like, we all live on college campus together. So, like, how wouldn't you know? And I feel like in that moment, y'all, I was, like, crushed. Not that she had any loyalty to me, because that's the other thing. You know, at the end of the day, if you're not physically friends with a female, then no, there is no, like, real loyalty to her. But I just feel like, you know who I am. Like, you've seen me on campus. You watch me throughout almost my entire pregnancy. I mean, we came home in like May or whatever. So I spent the first like 7.5, 8 months of my pregnancy on campus. So you walk past me, you seen me interact with him and all of that, and you mean to tell me you really listened to him and when he told you we wasn't together, we weren't in a relationship, he wasn't going to be with me, I'm just having his baby? Like, even if that's true, why would you want to expose yourself to something like that? Why would you? Exactly. It is very disrespectful. And I was more hurt with him because I'm like, dang, like, you ain't even thorough enough to find somebody who don't even go to our school. Like, we both still have to go to this college. Like, I still have to go there. You know, even if I had my baby up there and I had my baby at home, you know, we all had to go back to school together. And I just was like really embarrassed, yo, because the fact that everyone knew about this girl and I didn't know. It was like I literally was the last to know that he was dealing with this particular person. And again, I didn't know her like personally, but I seen her plenty of times on campus, and she seen me big and pregnant plenty of times. So it's just like, dang, like, y'all females really will deal with a guy and don't even care about what he got going on. Y'all won't even care about the next chick. And that's just like really nasty to me. Like I just don't understand it. And I was like really tore up. But for me, that was my breaking point with him. I was like, you know what, like you play with me long enough. Like you not even built like that to be sitting here trying to deal with me, and I had your child and deal with her. Like, no, I'm not even gonna give you that much credit. Like you think you that decent? Nizzle. So I basically broke it off with him right then and there. It was like, it was over. I'm like, you know what? I had my baby. You know what I'm saying? You go your way and I go mine or whatever. And he dealt with her. They dated. They probably was in a relationship. Maybe, I want to say, much more loyalty to men. And I seen a guy who, wait a minute, let me read this last comment. The men paint a picture to the woman and the men paint a picture to the women and they want to believe it anyway, so it makes it easy to believe the lie. And that's so true. That's so true, because it's like women nowadays, and I'm just speaking from what I see, like we're really desperate. I mean, and I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm saying that women are so desperate right now. Like, we're so desperate to be in love. We're so desperate to be loved. We're so desperate to be in a relationship. We're so in need of having that title with a man and having this particular position with a man that we will just about go for anything. And I'm being for real. I'm not even being funny. And I'm not trying to bash women or nothing. I'm just keeping it all way 100. Like, we are in a bad state. Like, women, we are just in a very, very, very bad state. And Khloe Kardashian is only an example of it. Don't even have nothing to do with money. It's literally just women seeking out that particular companionship with a man and will just about be with anyone just to be loved, or just to say that we're being loved, I guess, or to say that we're in a relationship with someone, or just knowing that someone's going to come home to us, you know, eventually. You know what I mean? Like, we are just in a really awful state right now, and I think that we have to do better. And we have to just do better with who we're picking, who we're choosing. Some women are validated through men, and that's the crazy part. We really find our validation through a man. Like, if this particular man with this much money or whatever is attracted to us or finds some sort of interest in us, then we're winning. Huh? Like, I don't understand it. Cousin Sharon said it's nothing new. But this is what I'm not understanding, right? And I guess it's probably not nothing new for women who are in a different, like, generation than me. And I guess I'm just discovering it because I'm at the age now where it's like, I don't really need a man. I don't need a man to validate me. Like, I validate myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so confident in who I am. Like, I feel like I'm official. And even when I feel like I'm about to fall victim to a man's foolery or whatever, I find it very convenient to check myself. You know, I'll be like, wait a minute, what is you doing? Like, chill. Like, no. Because me personally, I don't feel like a man, one, is worth any friendship that I have. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to lose any of my friends, my love or my care for my friends, and vice versa for me, for no man, just for no temporary satisfaction. Because I feel like the way you get them is the way you're going to lose them. That's just it. If you sit there and really think that you have to be shady, shysty, and disloyal to someone just to be in a relationship, you're sick and you're never going to be happy. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of us women, I always say us because I never want to separate myself from my female counterparts, whether a situation directly involves me or not. But I'm going to say us when I say that we need to do better with our self-worth and our morals and our values need to be worked on, our self-respect for not just ourselves but for one another. Like, I just feel like it's not that deep. And we already know in that particular story, like, it's not like she was with him for his money. She got her own money. She really fell victim to the fact that she looking for love in all the wrong places. Because a lot of us are victims to that, right? I've been victim to that, but I just feel like at 35 years old, it's just a lot of stuff that I'm just not gonna go for. I'm just not gonna go for the old okey doke, and you just telling me whatever you want to tell me, and I'm just gonna ride the bandwagon just because you say so. Like, who do you think you are? Like, even if like I said, I fall victim or gullible to a situation or whatever, like, it's no way in the world I'm just gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah. Sure, I'm gonna let you do that to me. Like, no. Like, who does that? Who does that? Like, what real woman with self-respect would actually do that? And I just feel like it's too many men out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, if that particular person is the only person you have eyes for, then I say, how about you just wait until the person has their baby, or wait till you really know that he's officially out of the relationship. But I feel like, why would you even want to deal with a man who's feel comfortable enough to go outside of a situation that he's about to have a whole person with or whatever, and go and start dating somebody else just because she's not doing what he needs at that moment? Like, that should just tell you a lot about the person right there. You know what I'm saying? That should just tell you that his self-respect and her self-respect is an all-time low. And for real, I'm the type of female, when he be like, you could call her right now. Okay, I'm going to call you bluff. Call her right now on the telephone. Let me hear her say you're not together. But again, let's just go back to the fact that once you know that he has a baby on the way, no, bro, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's why she got played in the first place. Because once he realized that she was just going to go for the okie doke or whatever, it was just like, oh, well, I could go play in her face anytime I want to. And that's clear and evident, because what did he do? He went out and made a pass at her little sister's best friend. Like, come on, now. Like, you knew who you was dealing with. So you can't even be mad when he pulls a her on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get mad because he treated you like he treated the last person. Like, where in that process from her to you did he learn any lessons? Did he have an opportunity to change or whatever, or make strides on being a better man and being a better person? You know what I mean? Of course, we don't see what goes on behind the scenes, but at the end of the day, any type of man that will humiliate the mother of his child for the whole world to see is not the type of man that I would want to be with, for real. Cousin Sharon said, exactly, but it takes way too much time for many women to get to their point. Yeah, and that's the point I'm trying to make. It's like, but why? Why? Like, where did the disconnect come from between just women in general? Like, where did the disconnect of having respect for one another, not even just as women, as mothers? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a mother, if you're somebody who's carried a baby, you know how emotional you are, all the type of roller coasters, the waves you ride, all kinds of stuff that you go through, just everything that comes along with being pregnant, and then having to go through that experience with someone or maybe alone. I just feel like you would take a lot of things into consideration going into a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, you're just going to think of other people's feelings. Like, you would have to ask yourself, like, well, dang, how would I feel if somebody did this to me? But don't nobody think about none of that, because they really truly believe that the man is just going to be this perfect person to them. And that is the sad part. Like, oh my goodness, ladies, like, get your head out of the clouds, girl. Because the same man that he is to her or whatever, 9 times out of 10, he's going to be that same man to you. Especially if he didn't go through a process of growth or maturity, or taking strides in the right step or whatever to make better choices when it comes to not only himself but to his children, you know what I'm saying, and for relationships. I just think that that's just odd to me, that people don't take those type of things into consideration. And it's disheartening to know that there are a bunch of women out here who will really be in a relationship with somebody or whatever, knowing that this man, A, has someone pregnant, B, has a newborn baby with somebody, or C, has a child with a person that's under 3 years of age. Now, is it humanly possible that a man could not be in a relationship with someone or whatever with a child that's like 1, 2, or 3? Yeah, it's possible. But I just feel like 9 times out of 10, he's still somewhat 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That's just my opinion. We definitely need to do better. Speaking to myself first. Yes, it's like I really feel like as women we just need to be better. And I ain't saying we got to get in a circle and sing kumbaya. But what I am saying is that we could do a better job in protecting one another. Because let me tell you something. Men will protect each other. They ain't even got to notice me. And they will still go head over heels to make sure that they protect their bros. So why can't we do what we need to do to protect our sisters? You know what I'm saying? And again, this doesn't have anything to do with color. This has everything to do with just having morals and values and self-respect and respect for your counterparts, your companions, your friends' friends. You know what I'm saying? Just like building a sisterhood. You ain't even got to know somebody personally. You know what I mean? You could just have respect for someone. You know what I mean? And just like your mother taught you when you was a kid, treat people the way you would want to be treated. You know what I mean? And I feel real passionate about this subject because, one, I've been through it. I went through it. And I know how it felt to live on a college campus and be pregnant by somebody that you think you're in love with or whatever. And to hear that this person is actively in a relationship with someone else. And then to actually get the actual proof. Like, who did he buy the other bouquet of flowers for? His roommate? Of course not. It was for the other girl. You know what I mean? And that night, I remember how I felt. I was sick. I'm like, Dad, he really up here messing with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and there's nothing I could do. I'm big and pregnant now. You know what I mean? I just got to deal with it. But that's why I feel like sometimes we need to just make better choices. You know what I mean? And I talked about that last week on my show, is that making better choices is like, it falls in line with those morals and values and believing in what you were taught. And religion plays a major part in it as well, because I feel like a lot of our morals and values comes from religion. Like, a lot of times that's like our foundation. But truth be told, when we make certain decisions, especially when it comes to just being real shady and shicey in regards to relationships and being with men just because we're desperados or whatever, then we forget all about our morals, our values, our foundation, our religion, you know what I'm saying, self-respect and dignity and all of that. We ain't got none of that. All that stuff go out the window for that D. You feel me? Like, it really do. Or just to say that you know that somebody's coming home to you, even if it's wrong, even if you know that it's just not okay, we will still go through with it just because we really believe that, you know what I'm saying, well, I mean, it's not that deep, or, you know what I mean, oh, well, he didn't want to be with her, he want to be with me. But then when he pulls a her on you, now you the victim. You know what I mean? So it's really hard for me to feel sorry for anyone in their predicament, because it's just like, well, you know who you was dealing with, like, you would that. You know what I mean? So you learned earlier than most women. Yeah, I did learn earlier than most women, Cousin Sharon, because of my experiences, you know what I mean, my life experiences. And I think that goes along with it too. I think that a lot of times some women, and this is not like a cop-out for them, but they ain't been through nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people have been through absolutely nothing. So when you say certain things to them, or when you try to break certain situations down to them, they kind of don't get it, because it's like they never been through it. Like I mentioned earlier with Chloe, like, she didn't know how it felt to be pregnant. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I think the only probably serious relationship she had was Lamar Odom. You know what I mean? So that plays a part in it. A lot of times when my old counterparts that people I used to deal with, when they used to do certain things when they came to men, it kind of like, it was self-explanatory. That's what I'll say. It was self-explanatory, because it's just like, oh, okay, I know why you do those certain things, because you really just don't know no better. You know what I mean? A lot of women just don't know any better. That's just it. Like, they don't. And men too, because they ain't never been through nothing. So it's like, you can't even be mad at them. Like, even when I get upset about certain things that I've been traumatized by in previous years, and people look at me like I'm crazy, like, well, why are you so upset? And I'm like, what do you mean why I'm upset? And then you had to think about it like, oh, you ain't never been through nothing. You ain't never really been hurt. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody never do nothing crazy like that to you. So now that the fact that Chloe has been humiliated in front of millions of people, I'm sure she's sitting somewhere in a dark room like, dang, I wish I would have thought twice. Even though her daughter is beautiful and she, she got something that she's always wanted out of the relationship, but at the same time, you didn't go into the relationship thinking that you were going to get pregnant. You went into the relationship thinking that you done found yourself a man. You know what I'm saying? And now you back to being single and you a single mother. And there is no amount of money in this world that could replace having a fatherly figure, the right kind, the appropriate kind, a man, a husband in your household helping you raise your family. Bottom line, I don't care how much money you got. You can have $1 trillion. No amount of money can replace a man, a father, or a husband in the household. The right kind. The real kind. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the kind that you can actually respect. Evan said, I know a woman who knows he has an extracurricular activity, and she did go to the extracurricular and said, know your place. He will not leave his home, and you will not be with me. I was floored and asked her, how can you be okay with it? Response was, I know what I signed up for. Wow, we can't always blame the dude. Some women put themselves out there and are okay with it. But if you listen to what I was saying of it, I agree that she knew once she found out that he was having a child, that was her opportunity to walk away. She chose to go by all of these people that was, I guess, representing him and explaining to her that in all actuality it wasn't right. The information was that he wasn't with her no more. He wasn't with the baby mom no more. So again, I definitely agree that she signed up for something that she had no idea what she was getting into, far as how bad it could get. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure she didn't see this coming later on down the line. Because again, we be so oblivious. We be so like all head over heels for a guy in the first week, you know what I'm saying, and then we can't live without him. Because I feel like when she found out about the girl being pregnant, it was so early on in the situation that she could have walked away. She chose not to, you know what I'm saying. So I feel like the fact that men think it's okay to leave a situation that's not finished and go out and start a new situation, and then when a woman knowingly goes into that situation, I think both parties are to blame. That's just my opinion. I just told somebody this, and not to get too deep into my personal life, but I've taken a vow with my Lord to do certain things or whatever. Maybe not perfectly, maybe not 110% correct, but for the most part, I'm trying to do what's right and do what's pleasing with regards to my religion, right? And a lot of times I meet people or whatever, and certain people only have one agenda. But one thing for sure and two things for certain, I have my own agenda. So I'm not going to allow anyone, including a man, to come in and infiltrate my agenda. You can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because for one, I'm not that weak. You know what I mean? Like, and I've said that plenty of times, like, I'm not a weak woman when it comes to 90% of the things that go on in my life or whatever. Am I weak when it comes to my children, spoiling my children? Yes. Am I weak to sometimes using profanity? Yeah, maybe. That's something that I'm working on. But when it comes to extreme measures and it comes to certain agendas that I have within my personal life and that involve men, I'm not that weak. So a man can't just say any and everything to me and I just go for the okie doke. Maybe when I was a teenager, maybe when I was in my early 20s, but not when I'm in my mid 30s. Like, it's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's just like you had to draw the line somewhere. And in order for things to change in your life, you actually have to put the work in to bring forth the change. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to tell me, a 30-year-old woman going to tell me that she met a 30-something-year-old man or a man that's in his late 20s or early 30s or whatever, and he tell you he got a child on the way with someone or whatever, and this lady is like really pregnant and she has every intention on having this child, and you telling me that you still gonna go and be in a relationship with that person, something is wrong with you, and you should definitely go get some psychological help. Not only do he need to get help, but you need to get help too, because if you really think that that's okay as a woman with morals and values and self-respect, then that's questionable to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, you should get everything that's coming to you. No, but karma is like real. Like it is really real, and it may not come back to you the way you're expecting it. It could come to you in another form and fashion, and I truly believe that. But I also believe that I'm gonna try to treat people, whether this person, that girl had no personal connection to Chloe. But that's not the point, though. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't make it a personal agenda for herself to go out and hurt Chloe. No. She basically just sat back and allowed nature to run its course. And what did he do? He went out and found new people to hurt Chloe with. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, even though you don't want to say, oh, that's what you get, but that's what you get. We all have a need for companionship, but not at any cost. Exactly. And that's what I mean. Like, you can't put a price tag on self-respect. Like, a man not even going to fully respect you. That's just my opinion. The fact that he could actually go out and have a relationship with you, and you know he got a whole nother situation somewhere else, just says a lot about your whole relationship. You feel me? And he going to think and he going to know that he could come and go in your relationship the same way he did the last girl. Like, come on, Neil. He not even really fully out the relationship. The girl ain't even give birth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, Neil. Like, you got to really think with your brain sometimes, ladies, and stop thinking with your you know what. Because when we do that, we make some really poor decisions. That's just my opinion. Like, we make some bad decisions. Exactly what you think he will do to you when it comes down to it. Exactly. He going to do the same exact thing he did to her, he going to do to you. I don't understand why females think that they have the magic to change him into what they looking for. What you see is what you get, sis. Exactly. And I tell people all the time, I've been saying this a lot on my lives, and I've said this on my show. Ladies, attention. We cannot change a man like that. It is not humanly possible. That I think that I could. Yeah, at one point in time in my life, I really did believe that I took the steps and I had the tools or what it took to change a man, help a man grow up. Nizzle. He gonna do it on his own time. Shoot, he may never do it. I know some grown behind me, I'm talking about in their 50s, that still don't got it together. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure they've been with plenty of women. Like, it's just some men who actually physically want to change, and there's some who just don't have the desire to change, or maybe haven't met the person that they want to change for, because that can happen too. But at the same time, he has to want it. It ain't nothing you can say or do, and it ain't no amount of money, because you know a lot of us is good for that. We'll sit there and try to use materialistic things and money to buy a man, thinking that that's what's going to keep him around. Like, nope, he will leave you, take all your money, and still leave you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, come on, ladies, like, smarten up. And it's like sometimes women will really sacrifice their friendships and relationships with family members just to be with a man. Like, oh my goodness, like, I just don't understand it. I really, really don't get it. Behind closed doors, they will tell you whatever you want to hear. That's true, but at the same time, it's like, whether it's behind closed doors and outside the door or whatever, at the end of the day, we are all given a brain. We are all given the opportunity to allow our brain to function for itself. We can't sit here, especially if you're in your 30s, you can't sit here and keep saying, oh, but he said, but he told me, or I believed him, and all of this. Like, really, sis, you that dumb, you that gullible, you that sweet for it? Like, come on now. Like, I would rather be alone than be in a situation that's actually alive. That's just my opinion. Their moms taught them to be that way. Yeah, I believe that. Believe it or not, we are a reflection of what we saw growing up. And you know what, sis? That's absolutely 110% correct. I feel like as mothers and as women, we need to set better examples for our children. And that's one of the reasons why I stayed and then I left my marriage, was because of my children. One, I thought that getting married was the right thing to do. I truly believe that when it came to the religion, when it came to being a better woman, a better mother, a better role model for my kids, the best thing for me to do was to get married. In my last marriage or whatever, I stayed for as long as I did is because I knew that my children loved and cared for my husband. But at the same time, as time went on and I saw that there were no dramatic changes occurring within our relationship, I was like, you know what? It's time for me to leave. Not just because it was draining me, but because this was not the example that I was trying to set for my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I'm setting the example that being in a marriage, being in a relationship, sticking it out, working hard, is only one part of it. The other part of it is that, is this healthy? Is this showing them what healthy relationships are about? Because you could show your kids that you're in a relationship, that you're married, and that you're in a committed one-on-one situation with someone, but is it actually healthy? Is it actually something that they need to be witnessing? Is it something that they need to be a part of? And that's important. Like, a lot of times when I make choices when it comes to my own personal life, I always try to put my kids on the forefront, because I know that with no matter what decision I make, it will have an effect on them. And as they get older, you can't hide it. You can't pretend around kids that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds. They not stupid. They know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And they read between the lines. And so me being physically, mentally, emotionally healthy for my kids was far more important than me showing them that mommy can be married to somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that I'm giving up on love, but right now my focus is to make sure that I try to do the best that I can do by them. And that's just it. That's just the moral to the story. There really is not that many men out here. There are definitely not many quality ones. Whew. You have to learn to be happy with yourself. Don't lower your standards just for a so-called relationship. And that's the best advice. That is the best advice that anyone could give to a young woman, a young lady, an older woman, an older lady. That's the best advice. Don't lower your standards, no matter what religion you are, no matter what religion you believe in. Don't lower your standards just so you can say that you're married. Like, just don't do it. It's just not healthy. It's not a good situation. It's a bad situation or whatever. And don't go into a relationship with someone who still has one foot in and one foot out of a previous relationship. Like, come on. Like, we have to be smarter than that. Is it still fresh when the baby is young? That's my opinion. You know what? And I mentioned that earlier, LaRonda. I said, I don't know about being with someone who has a child that's 3 or younger. That's just my opinion. Because I feel like it's still new. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still somewhere along the lines of fresh situation. You know what I'm saying? So you want to kind of give it some time. I'm going to read these last little bit of comments, y'all, and then I got to go. Some women desire to be in a relationship trumps all logical thinking and morals. And that's what's said. Like, we need help. Chrissy, I was messing around with a girl. I met her at a cookout. And to come to find out, shorty was engaged the whole time. What? She basically using me to see if she really wanted to marry dude. So when she decided not to marry dude, I didn't want her because I couldn't trust shorty. Yeah, there's absolutely no trust. And she out of pocket. But that's just being scandalous. No amount of money at all. Yes, that again. We had to evaluate self and set boundaries. No, now she knows how that other girl felt. And I agree with that, Sherry. I agree with that 110%. We had to evaluate ourselves and set boundaries. Absolutely, positively, 100%. Pregnancy means he raw doctor less than 9 months ago says, I'm good. Yo, you stupid. This is why I left a man where he was. If it started acting stupid, I'm not going to be taking stuff out on my son because I mean, exactly. And that's how I feel. Like, I'm not doing all that. You cannot be a good mom if you're an unhappy woman. 110%. And I feel like that's why I left my relationship. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all was tuned in. Confessions of a Philly Girl podcast. And as usual, on this show, I address real social issues. And I apply those issues to things that I have been through within my life, my little lifespan. I hope to see y'all next week. Don't forget Confessions of a Philly Girl every Friday. I have a new time. I'm on at 9 p.m. I was a little late, y'all, so I apologize for that. But yes, 9 p.m. And you can also hear my pre-recorded shows on Live 365. You can always go back on the WCMD Facebook page and look at my videos. My videos is posted on my Facebook page, Confessions of a Philly Girl. I'm also now I leave my shows on Mixlr, IGTV, Instagram, YouTube. So make sure y'all all tune in. And don't forget, tomorrow, WCMD is hosting their first book expo. So for all you authors out there, there's still time to sign up. If you have a book that you want to showcase, ebook, real book, live book, whatever book, hit WCMD up on Messenger or go on our page and highlight my bro Diamond about it, or my sister Deb. So again, Confessions of a Philly Girl, WCMD Radio, every Friday night, 9 p.m. You already know. Peace, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.